Hey, what's going on, everybody? So right now we're going to be talking about a film that I think has a lot of buzz around it, or at least, if you've seen the first one, I'm pretty sure you had your eyes set in excitement for its sequel. And that film is Train to Busan presents Peninsula. And I'm going to say right now, this film comes out August 21st. But I'm just gonna go on the record right now and say, oh, this was just not it for me. There's a lot of reasons why I did not totally enjoy this film. Number one, Train to Busan was amazing. It was amazing because it had emotion, it had heightened urgency in zombie films as it should. So the terror was there. I thought the costume design was there. Just so much I could talk about good with that film. But this film took everything that film did good and completely went the other way. But nonetheless, I'm going to talk about this film. And this film takes place 4 years after the incident in Korea. None of the characters from the first one return, just to go off the limb there. But it's the story of a group of people who are in Hong Kong and they're tasked to go back to Korea. Korea is nicknamed Peninsula because there is some leftover money there in some American dollars in the back of a truck. It's a lot of money to be exact. And they say, hey, if you go retrieve this, then everybody can be millionaires nonetheless. And then, it's crazy as that sound, but nonetheless, the zombies are blind, so they can't see at night. So they say, if you go in at night, get this done, you'll be out in no time. We'll extract you, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, they aren't just met with zombies. They're met with a couple of different things. They're met with a barbaric group of scavengers. And then they're met with other people who were just left behind, who's just trying to survive. So pretty much it's Mad Max in Korea. With a zombie apocalypse happening. Not to mention, with the movie being primarily in the dark most of the time, it is beautifully shot. I will say that. The dark scenes are really nicely done. But there's two things here. Number one, the first one was in complete subtitles, all spoken in Korean. This movie is half and half. There's a lot of English. There's subtitles, but there's a lot of English. And a little bit of people who speak Korean. Not to mention, almost everybody's bilingual, and it's so noticeable. It's almost like, okay, so especially the people who like never left Korea. I'm thinking to myself, like, so where did you guys pick up English at? Because you all spoke Korean in the first one. So, but whatever, not a big problem. The huge problem to me is that with everything they did good with the costume design, this one is CGI overload. There's a lot of like action car scenes in this one, but with that being said, it also comes off like Fast and Furious. To be exact, you remember Fast and Furious 4 when they were riding through the caves to get over the Mexican border when they kidnapped Braga? It's a lot of that level of CGI that goes on here. It is by no means believable. There's a little kid. Matter of fact, kids should not drive. But if they do drive, there's no way that they will be driving how the kids were driving in this film. There's one particular scene I have got to point out, and I don't care. It's not a spoiler, but I don't care. I'm pointing this exact scene out. But a kid was driving with one hand, with binoculars in the other hand, and does this hard 90-degree angle that I wouldn't even be able to do driving at the speed they was able to do. It is absolutely insanely unreal. So with that being said, like, the tone is just so different from the first one. It really, if you knew any better, you would not know that these two films were even related by any means, because the tones are just so drastically different. But I was gonna say, like, there's even like the closing like scenes, like the last 15 minutes was about to have me rage like no other, because of just how much nonsense it was. But all I'm gonna say is just like I I just don't know. This one's very frustrating. It really is, because I really look forward to this film. And Train to Busan is just a really good film. And for this to be a sequel, it just took all the magic that the first one had. It did not carry it in any means. It's almost like it just completely dropped the glass vase and it shattered, and then that was it. All the water, the flowers, everything is just shattered. There's nothing that could be done. It's just, yeah. And there is some good action scenes, I will say. A lot of the firearm scenes I think were pretty cool. But like some of the psychology in the film, especially with some of the characters, just really doesn't make any sense. But this one did not leave me entertained like the first one. It really didn't. It really didn't. I will say, like, the one thing that was kind of foreshadowing with this film is that, like, you know, when they zoom in on facial shots, you kind of think like something's going to happen. So that did put me on the edge of my seat a couple times, because you're just like, who's going to jump out? Who's going to get shot? Whatever it may be. They played to that really well, but it never really amounted to anything. But nonetheless, I don't know, folks. You check it out. It'll be available August 21st. I just was not feeling this one. This one just was not it for me. I do plan to watch again, but this is literally I watched it one time and it's my thoughts, and I really feel really true to it. I'm just really disappointed. That's just all I can say. I'm just really disappointed. But definitely let me know what you think when you check it out. And come back in the comments as always, and stay tuned for more reviews.